Good evening. Welcome back to True Gunners TV. Just real quickly, for anybody who's watching this twice, I had some major issues with the audio, so I've decided to come on and do the video again. Don't worry, it's not Groundhog Day. It's not like, Brandon on repeat. I've just decided better do the video again. The audio was shit, so let's go. Of course, we're here for the Arsenal Liverpool game on Thursday. Arsenal taking on Liverpool in the second leg of the Carabao Cup. But before we get into that, first of all, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. As I'm sure you're all aware, Mr. DT or Liam Good enough, as most people know him, or if you know him personally, sentenced to 3 years in prison for attacking and kidnapping his ex-missus. Now, as I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't know the guy. I've never met him, never shared a stream with him, and quite frankly, after hearing how he treats women, I don't want to know him. So all I'm going to say on the situation is I hope his ex-missus, the victim, is all right. And what a shame it is that fame and popularity can bring out the worst in people. There's no doubt he was a popular figure on AFTV. Maybe not personally, but definitely in terms of views and traction. Even I myself enjoyed watching some of his rants on AFTV back in the day. To go ahead and do something like that, you're just a disgrace, mate. Let's just put it plain and simple. But hey, I'm sure he'll still be a popular figure in prison. Just don't drop that soap, bruv. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on. Of course, Arsenal take on Liverpool in the Carabao Cup Semi-Final, second leg on Thursday. And let's recap a little bit on the first leg. Of course, as we know, Arsenal went to Anfield. We're all sitting here thinking, we're going to get slapped. We're going to get slapped. And lo and behold, this clown turns up, thinks he's doing kung fu fighting, like that song. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Whoa! And kung fu kicks Diego Jota in the face, and then gets himself sent off early on in the game. And with that, majority of Arsenal fans, including myself, were sitting there thinking, this is it. This is done. Liverpool can slap us 3, 4, 5 if they really want to. They're a great side, even without Mane and Salah. And it just didn't work out for Liverpool in that game. We defended very, very well. In particular, Ben White. I thought he was very, very good in that game. And we limited Liverpool to very few chances. We even had a great chance ourselves. Bukayo Bloodclot Xhaka, as most people would call him. But unfortunately, he couldn't put it away. And maybe if he did, we would be talking about a 1-0 victory instead of a 0-0 draw. However, still a great result for Arsenal. Can we make it count now? Of course, the second leg is being played at the Emirates. And we'll have the home crowd with us as the 12th man. And it could get very interesting. Of course, a lot's happened since then. We were due to play Tottenham on Sunday, and the game got called off at Arsenal's request because we did not have enough players to field a starting 11, even though we have 83 players on the books. But let's not get into that too much. The game got called off. It's a rule that the Premier League, have decided to come up with, mainly to deal with COVID cases. However, there is a bit of a loophole in that. And look, Arsenal used it to their advantage. So what? Any other team would have done the same thing. Liverpool have done the same thing themselves, with their fake positives and all that bollocks. Leicester, another team that have used that to their advantage. So why not? Why not? The only thing that has pissed me off about that is we gave ourselves a window of opportunity. You might have heard me talk about this in the previous stream in order to get some players in, because as we know, we're very short in certain areas of the pitch. Midfield definitely being one of them, and Arsenal being linked to a whole host of players, as we know. Um, the main one being a striker, which again, we do need a striker, but midfield is definitely the area we're in need of desperation. And look, we haven't done anything. We've had since Friday until now to get players in, to bolster the squad up a little bit, to fill the void that is left in midfield. And we're sat on our asses again. That's just typical Arsenal. And look, there's no hope of us getting any players in for Thursday. I can tell you that now. Unless Edu turns into the genie and starts granting wishes and magicking players out of his arsehole, it just ain't going to happen. So we are going to the Emirates to play Liverpool in an important game in the semi-final, chance to get to the final with a depleted squad again. So, what is our chances? What is our chances? But that brings us on to my first question. Are Arsenal the favourites to get to the final, as we touched on earlier? Getting a 0-0 draw at Anfield is a great result. We have a terrible record at Anfield. And to get a 0-0 draw in that game, you would have to say advantage Arsenal because we are playing at home in the second leg. However, with players missing, I mean, could we get a few players back that may give us a bit more of a chance? Who knows? Who knows? But there is one area of the pitch, as I said already, that I do really worry about, and that is midfield. Midfield, I think what Liverpool was missing the most in that first leg was creativity within their midfield. And there's one player that can offer them that, and that is this guy here, Thiago. And if he's back and he's up against Lokonga and maybe Patino, or maybe Arteta will switch it and put Odegaard and Lokonga, or Smith Rowe and Lokonga, if they're available, that is. It's worrying. It's worrying because Thiago is a player who can find the killer pass. And that's what they was really missing, Liverpool, in that game. Even though, look, credit Arsenal, we defended so well. There's no doubt about that. So the question is to you guys, are we the favourites? If we can get a few players back, if we can maybe get one signing in, yeah, I don't think so. Then could we be the favourites? Of course, when Mikel Arteta very first came into Arsenal, we had to beat a very good Manchester City side and then a very good Chelsea side to win the FA Cup. This time around, we're going to have to beat a very good Liverpool side and then face Chelsea, a very good side again, in the final of this if we want to win this competition. So, can we do it again? Can we repeat what we did in the FA Cup? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know. Moving on swiftly, as I said. Yeah. Are you confident? That is the next question. I suppose it kind of ties in to the first question as well. Are you confident that we can make the final? Are you confident we can beat this Liverpool side? Are you worried like I am? Are you worried that that Liverpool team that we played in the first leg was just having an off day? Because they still have dangerous players, believe it or not. They still have dangerous players. Diego Jota, very dangerous. Firmino, it doesn't score many goals, but he can come up with one or two, especially when he's playing against Arsenal. Um, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you'd have to say that he's a danger player as well, because the way Liverpool play, the way they press high, the way they try and get down the flanks and put balls in the box, and Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of them players who is just exceptional at his delivery. And so, yeah, you'd have to say he's a danger player. He's got a great shot on him as well. Any free kicks outside of the box could end up being a problem. So, yeah, are you confident? Let me know in the comment section if you are or not. Next question, and this is mainly for Liverpool fans more than Arsenal fans. Can Liverpool cope without Salah and Mane? I would say mainly Salah, because he comes up with the majority of their goals. Can they cope this time around? Of course, as we know, first leg, they didn't really create too many clear-cut chances. There's only one that I can really point out, and that is Minamino's horrendous miss that he should have buried. And yeah, can they cope without Salah and Mane? That is the big, big question. Can they break down this Arsenal side if we decide to sit back and try and hit on the counter? Who knows? These are all questions that will be answered on Thursday. But what I will say is I watched Liverpool at the weekend against Brentford, and they just don't look the same without Salah or Mane. There's just something missing there. Even though they won the game, and look, Minamino got a goal, so maybe that'll give him a bit of confidence going into this one. Diego Jota, as I've already mentioned, we already know he's a dangerous player. Firmino, they have dangerous players on their books. They're not fighting for a title for no reason. Even those, let's be honest, the title race is done. It's done. But they've not been one of the top teams in the Premier League for the last 3 years for no reason. And they do have players that will or can hurt us if we are not careful. So that brings me on to another question, and I'm going to pose it now. I haven't got the little clip thing. How should Arsenal set up? How should Mikel Arteta set up for this game? Do you think we should just take the game to Liverpool? Should we just go all out attack and say, look, you're at our place now. That's it. We got the 12th man. We're coming for you. Or do we do a similar thing to what we did in the first leg and try and sit back, hit on the counter, keep it a bit tight? I think you've got to find the balance between the two, definitely. No doubt, Liverpool can score goals. And when they do score goals, they normally tend to score more than one as well. And the floodgates at Arsenal can open because we've seen it before, capitulation. So, for me, I'd like to see Arteta and Arsenal keep it tight, at least for the first 45 minutes. Try and hit on the counter and see what we can get from that. But the thing is when we do get them chances on the counter attack, players have got to finish their dinner. Saka in the first leg didn't quite finish his dinner, and that's also a worrying thing as well, because we have Saka, Martinelli, and Lacazette will more than likely be the front three. Martinelli, he does come up with a goal now and again. Saka, he has been coming up with goals now and again. But Lacazette, he's not ever scored 20 goals in a season for Arsenal. And he's not really that prolific goal scorer at all, where if a chance falls to him, you can literally house on it that he's going to put it in the back of the net. And that's where I'm worried. Can we finish our chances? Because if we don't, we could get buried by Liverpool. If we can, then maybe we have a chance. But for me, we have to keep it tight, see what we can do, see if we can take them to extra time, and maybe even penalties would probably be the best way of beating Liverpool on in this game. So, moving on to the very, very last question, and that is, what is your score prediction for Thursday? Can we do it? Can Arsenal win this game? Or will it be the same old against Liverpool? We've struggled for years against Liverpool. Can we make the final? Let me know in the comments section. I'm going to stick my neck on the line and I'm going to say, look, we're at home. If we get it right, we get the tactics right, we keep it tight, and we get a few players back from injury and COVID, I'm going 1-0 Arsenal. I'm going 1-0 Arsenal. Maybe that's the deluded side of me coming out. Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm going 1-0 to the Arsenal. Let me know in the comments section, guys, what your score prediction is. And look, make sure you're smashing them likes and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm going to get into a couple of your comments and then I'm out of here. This is Luca. How are we doing, Luca? He says he. That's probably because we're back again pretty much sooner than I expected. I've literally just done this video, but the audio was shite and I was like, nah, not having that. Not having that. It's not Groundhog Day. To anybody who is watching, who's already watched the previous one, it's not, Brandon on repeat or anything like that. It just is what it is. So, I like to bring quality content where I can, of course, with the limited resources that I do have. This is Lucas says, how are you? I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm fed up with Arsenal and being snails in the fucking transfer market. As I said earlier, unless Edu becomes the genie and suddenly starts granting wishes and pulling players out of his fucking ass, we're in trouble. We're in trouble massively. So we'll see what happens with that. Why is Edu still on the fucking screen? Get him off. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm not prepared for this. I'm not confident, man. Really, and I think Liverpool will win this 2-1. Interesting. We have some. I've just seen your comment sentiment. Hang on, I'm getting to it. Mate. City 10. Big up yourself. Hopefully you guys win. City, yeah. I hope so, mate. I hope so. I just don't know. I really don't know. I really, really don't know. It's going to be interesting. I thought I was fucking hot shit, bro. I just watched this video. Glad I'm not bugging out. Pick up yourself, sentiment. Big up yourself. Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, guys, I'm calling that it. Let me know, as I said, in the comments section to all your answers to each of today's question. I'll run through them again. Are Arsenal the favourites? It is being played at the Emirates. Are we the favourites? Are you confident we can make the final as well? Can Liverpool cope without Salah and Mane? And finally, let me know your score prediction as well. And look, if you haven't already, I keep saying it. I keep saying it. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, 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 share. Big up yourselves.